There's a number that a good agent can get you when you're trying to sell your house, and there's a number that doesn't exist. I'm going to explain exactly what I'm talking about. So if you like that, keep watching. See you in a sec. Good evening from sunny Toronto. Summer's finally arrived, sort of. It's 25 degrees Celsius here. It's about 7 p.m. It's lovely. Looking at the backdrop, west of Toronto. That's downtown there behind me. Welcome to the Mayhem Homes channel, to Love Living in Toronto. My name's Conor Mangan. I'm a real estate agent in Toronto from Ireland and been working in real estate for the last 12 years. And today, in fact, actually, if you've ever been up to Yorkville, you'll find this great spot I tried today called Mizon. It's Mizon sandwiches. So it's made, and it's basically a pita bread with all types of stuff inside it. They do all types of sandwiches. Today I had what's called a folded cheeseburger. It was incredible. I'm not really sure exactly what they do, but it looks like it's smashed patties with like their aioli sauce or something like a garlic or yogurt or tzatziki or something, because this is a Mediterranean place. You got a little bit of tomato, a little bit of pickles, and then a big piece of cheddar. But what they do with the cheddar is they somehow like burn it or make it crispy or something, but it's a massive chunk of it and it's kind of stuffed in next to the smashed down patties in the pita, all wrapped up in the sandwich, and there's sauce going fucking everywhere. And oh my God, it's absolutely delicious. Delicious. So if you're going there, Mizon's up in Yorkville. And the other thing, they do a lovely chicken schnitzel. Oh my God, I love a chicken schnitzel sandwich. Used to ski there in Austria and called St. Tropez. Very, very high resort in Austria. They used to do a massive chicken schnitzel. The thing would be about the size of your leg. And it was unbelievable. They also served an ostrich egg, if you can believe it or not, in that spot. And ostrich eggs can be expensive, which segues me back to the Toronto real estate market, which also can be expensive. But how I opened this up was I want to talk about how sellers and their expectations kind of get a bit misaligned. They want a certain number when they're trying to sell their house. So let's just take a condo, for example. Let's just say the perceived market value of a condo is 500 grand. We call that our PMV, a perceived market value. It's about 500K. It's somewhere roughly where someone will pay for it. And they say they want 600K, and an agent comes along and says, I can get you 600K, no bother. So that's about 20% more than the value of the actual condo. There's not an agent out there that can get you 20% more. There's just not. Now what we can do is we can manipulate, we can bend the market to our certain expectations. We can pull and we can push and kind of get you, like, if we're on the buying side, we can get you a little bit below 500. We're talking like 485, maybe even less in today's market, something like that. And a great selling agent on the listing side will be able to push that and get you above 510, maybe 520, something like that. Anything beyond that, you're talking about a little bit of luck added into it, maybe a little bit of market heating up. Possibly an emotional buyer loves it. But anyone promising you that your 500K condo is worth 600K is frankly full of shit. Okay? They just want the listing, more than likely. So you got to be really careful when you're going into that sort of stuff. The market's kind of dictating that that's worth 500K. And so if someone's going to be paying 600K, the market just doesn't do that. If you have an apple, that's, how much does an apple cost these days? How much does a banana cost, Michael? $10? You know that old line from Arrested Development from Lucille. Banana and Loblaws cost $1.20. No frills might be 90 cents. It's not going to be 20 cents in no frills, because then everyone will go there. And no one will buy the banana from Loblaws for $1.20. Now I know the dramatic numbers, not as much as the gaps that I'm talking about in real estate, but that kind of gives you an idea of what we're talking about. There is gaps between, you know, a lesser agent and a greater agent. These come down to, if we're selling our condo or selling our house, you know, condo's 500K, maybe a house is $1 million. A great agent will get you a listing agent that's selling it for you. Hopefully get you closer to about 1.1 for that house, maybe 1.05 ish, you know, under the right market conditions. And if we're buying for it, you know, maybe hopefully I can get you for 950 or 970. And the reason why we can do that is our negotiation tactics, our presentation, our honesty with our sellers and our buyers, our aggression at the right time. So timing and aggression can be very important. Whether we pick up the phone or not, you know, it's not a guessing game. There's no magic there. It's not like, oh, my reputation is X and Y, or this brokerage is brilliant because it has this name or this marketing power. It's sometimes picking up the phone, developing a great rapport with the agent, And then that agent's kind of working for you. So if I'm a listing agent, you know, I'm going to try and pick up the phone to the buying agent, and convince them of the price of the property. I'm going to convince them that the condo is not worth 500. I'm going to convince them it's worth closer to 525. And can your buyers come up a little bit? You know, at least to 515. What do we talk about here? It's in a great neighborhood. It's right next to Mizon. Did I tell you about their chicken schnitzel sandwich? Did I tell you about their folded cheeseburger? Have you ever folded cheeseburger? It's $16. This thing's unreal. Have you ever heard of Spark Coffee? It's a little Ethiopian woman who owns it. She's been running it for the last year and a half. It's rated 4.9 out of 5 on Google. It's right around the corner from the condo. So you kind of be convinced one way or the other whether this condo is going to be the one for these buyers. And that's what I'm going to do. If on the buying end, I'm going to be doing the opposite. If you're selling a house for $1 million, I'm going to say, look, this thing isn't worth $1 million. What are you talking about? This thing is close to Sherburne and Dundas. Well, it's a kilometre away. And I'm like, that's not that far away. It looks a bit dangerous around there. Things are rough, you know, like this area is not the nicest area at the moment, and this is why they're interested in it. They want to put the work into the property because, let's be honest, this isn't a new property. You didn't fully renovate it. This thing needs work. So I'll work my way down, try and get them closer to that 950 mark instead of that $1 million mark. And that's where a negotiator and getting on the phone can really, really help. And the amount you can kind of push is basically, what I talked about a little bit at the beginning, 15 to 20% is completely unrealistic in my mind. If you are seeing that and you're like, well, this condo sold for 120% above asking, 130% above asking. There's actually one on Clemson over in East York a couple of days ago. It did sell for 133% above asking price. Well, you know what they did? Let's take our example of a house that's $1 million. So I'm going to list it on the market for $899. 100 grand below my perceived market value, and I'm going to get a whole lot of people in there, and what I'm going to kind of generate is ideally a little bit of panic, so a panic buyer makes a decision, and emotion. They really want it. They know everyone else wants it. They just want it more, and make them choose an emotional offer, an emotional price that's above the perceived market value. And I'm hoping to get my clients at least like $1.025 million, $1.050 million when the perceived market value is $1 million. Do you know what I mean? I get them in, we wait a couple of days and make sure to see the open house. We have 25 people through the open house. We end up getting 6 offers. I send those 6 back. I ask them to put in their best offer again because a couple of offers were very, very close, and the sellers would like to pick the best one, and I try and push them up. Again, I get on the phone, I convince them of the value of this property. It's definitely above $1 million. You know your clients want this, so how about you just put pen to paper and let's be done with this quickly. So like time, panic, motion can get a great price for you. Wrap that up, I guess. Be very careful when you do see those agents or you see a lot of marketing and advertising selling far above list price. I sold this for 120%. Maybe you didn't. You had $1 million property, you listed it at $899, and then you sold it for $1,010,000. That's actually 101% of the market price. Do you know what I mean? Of the market price, not the listing price. They do market as listing price. I'm not saying they're unethical that way, but it's just you got to be careful of the numbers. Keep an eye out. If someone's promising you the world, it seems too good to be true. Probably is. You can't invent a number that the market's going to pay. You got to track the market, and a great agent will be able to bend it one way or the other to your will. So if you enjoyed this, give me a good time. You like Mizon, you like my recommendations for Spark Coffee, my explanation of a seller's market, why not subscribe? Hit the subscribe button, and we'll see you in the next one. And hopefully you'll get this out in the podcast as well. The Mayhem podcast, Mayhem Homes podcast, it's a working title. But you know what? Aren't we all working titles? It's 2026. We're all working ourselves, trying to get better. So cheers. See you in the next one. Talk to you soon.